This is Morgan Gustavsson, and he is not the kind of man people usually bet against. Back in 1989, Morgan is already doing research in light-based hair treatment. His name ends up in academic literature. Clinics around the world eventually use technology from that era to remove hair and treat skin conditions. Morgan is not the inventor, but he is genuinely part of that early conversation. In the world of laser-based dermatology, he is a real figure with a real history. Now, fast forward to 2001, Morgan starts thinking about something even bigger. Something that could change the way every person on the planet shaves. Not a new blade. Not a smarter electric motor. A handheld device that fires a laser at hair and melts it right at the skin surface. No nicks, no razor burn, no shaving cream, no blades to replace ever again. Just light doing the work that steel has been doing for 5,000 years. But the technology is not there yet. Not in 2001. So Morgan waits. He stays in the lab. He keeps working. And then in 2009, he claims to make a discovery that the entire hair removal industry has been chasing for decades. He identifies what he calls a specific receptor inside human hair. A tiny molecular switch that reacts when hit by a particular type of light. What makes this claim so significant is that this receptor is present in all human hair, regardless of color. Dark hair, blonde hair, gray hair, white hair, every type. This is a massive claim. Every laser hair removal system before this can only target dark pigment. People with light, gray, or blonde hair have almost no workable options with existing laser technology. Morgan is saying he cracked the problem that stopped everyone else cold. And if you know anything about laser technology at the time, you understand just how big a deal that actually is. Well, that is the thing about Morgan Gustavsson. When he makes a big scientific claim, the world has a hard time not taking it seriously. His track record earns him that benefit of the doubt, so the concept takes shape. The Skarp laser razor is built from aerospace-grade aluminum, sleek and modern, powered by a single rechargeable AAA battery. The laser runs through a tiny fiber inside the razor head. When a hair physically touches the fiber tip, light jumps from the fiber into the hair. The hair melts right at the skin surface. The skin stays safe because it does not have that same receptor that hair does. You are never accidentally cutting yourself again. Now think about what that actually means for someone who shaves every single day. No more buying replacement cartridges every few weeks. No nicks on the jaw on a Monday morning. No shaving cream. No irritation. The laser is rated for up to 50,000 shaving hours. The environmental case is real too. Americans throw away roughly 2 billion disposable razors every year. The Skarp laser razor eliminates all of that waste. When you add all of that up, this thing sounds less like a razor and more like a problem finally being solved. You buy this once and you never look back. The price sits between $159 and $189. Morgan and his co-founder incorporate Skarp Technologies in Irvine, California in August 2015. The Kickstarter campaign launches on September 21st with a goal of $160,000. But nobody is ready for what happens next. The campaign goes viral almost immediately. Every major media outlet picks it up. Every major tech and lifestyle outlet covers this like the future arrived ahead of schedule. Within 8 days, the campaign crosses $700,000. Well past the original goal before 2 weeks are even over. People are not just pledging money. They are telling every person they know about the product. The early bird tiers at $89, $139, and $160 sell out almost immediately. General pledges settle at $189. Delivery is promised by March 2016. Then October 8th arrives. The campaign crosses $4 million for more than 20,000 backers. That puts it inside the top 20 Kickstarter campaigns of all time at that point in the platform's history. $4 million for a razor, a laser razor that has never been shown working in any real public setting. But people are not focused on that part. They are thinking about never buying replacement blades again. They are thinking about the razor burn that made them late last week. They are thinking about Morgan Gustavsson's research background and deciding this is the real thing. Well, why does it feel so believable? Because Morgan is not a stranger to this space. He has been doing research in light-based hair removal since the late 1980s. His name shows up in academic literature on the subject. When a man with that background says he found a type of light that cuts any color of hair without damaging skin, that does not sound like fantasy. That sounds like the next logical step from someone who has been working this problem for decades. You look at that history and something in your brain just says, this is legit. Now, the 20,000 backers are not naive people. These are tech enthusiasts, engineers, and journalists. A Fox News contributor pledges $189. Reddit communities are buzzing with excitement. The pitch lands on every level. The science fiction appeal. The environmental promise. The daily convenience of never dealing with blades again. I genuinely think that is what makes this whole story so hard to dismiss from the very start. The faith feels earned. The excitement feels rational. And March 2016 is only a few months away. Well, the tech press is almost unanimously positive in those first few weeks. The framing is consistent everywhere. 5,000 years of blade shaving is about to end. Morgan Gustavsson has spent decades studying light-based hair removal, and now he is bringing that research to your bathroom shelf. You read those articles and you genuinely believe this is happening. Campaign comment sections fill with believers. People are sharing pledge links with friends, gifting tears to people who hate shaving. The energy is real and it spreads fast, but some skeptical voices start forming in the background. An online thread labels the campaign a scam before it even wraps up. Laser experts and electronics engineers in online tech communities begin picking the demo video apart frame by frame. Now, Skarp does post a demo video on the campaign page. The footage shows the prototype interacting with a few hairs on a demonstrator's wrist. They zap away as the laser glows red. In a short clip, it looks genuinely promising. But the critics notice real problems. The video appears to be shot through a heavy green filter. Some argue the filter is used to hide what is actually happening on screen. The circuit board driving the laser in the footage is a large desktop contraption. Not exactly something you can fit inside a razor handle. A hardware engineer publishes a detailed breakdown of the whole campaign. He says what Skarp is showing is barely a rough sketch of an idea, nowhere near a real product. He says delivering a safe, compact, mass-manufactured laser razor in 6 months is completely unrealistic. He also notes that the founders respond to technical questions by pointing to their personal reputations and citing trade secrets rather than providing any real data. But most people are not reading that breakdown. Most people are reading the latest headline in their feed, so the campaign keeps climbing. Backers keep pledging. The press keeps writing. And Skarp keeps talking about March 2016 like it is a perfectly achievable deadline. Physicists writing for the conversation also raise concerns. No safety studies. No independent testing. No real technical details shared with the public. Any laser device designed to touch human skin requires years of rigorous testing before it reaches a consumer bathroom shelf. Skarp shows no evidence of having done any of that work. I want to be clear here. These are not random internet critics. These are physicists and professional hardware engineers telling you the numbers do not add up. Well, Skarp has an answer for all of it. They point to Morgan's decades of research, the patented razor design, and the receptor theory. They lean on scientific language and Morgan's genuine credentials to move past every concern raised. And it works for a while. I think that is the part of this story that catches people off guard every single time they hear it. The buzz stays overwhelmingly positive heading into October 2015. The campaign closes in on $4 million. March 2016 feels close. The product feels real. And 20,000 people have placed a bet on a man whose name has been attached to this field for over 30 years. Then October 12, 2015 arrives. Kickstarter's integrity team sends a mass email to every single backer. The campaign is suspended permanently. The reason is straightforward. Skarp has violated Kickstarter's rule requiring working prototypes of physical products offered as rewards. Suspensions cannot be undone. You have to read that twice to believe it. All funding stops immediately. Backers are not charged because Kickstarter has not yet collected any money. The $4 million disappears overnight. About $200,000 in platform commission goes with it. So what does Kickstarter find when they review the additional materials submitted by Skarp? Now, Skarp acknowledges in their own explanation that the prototype uses a handmade glass fiber, a fiber so fragile it breaks when lightly bounced against skin. It cannot even be mounted with adequate support to function properly. This is the device they were planning to ship to 20,000 people in 5 months. A CNET journalist flies out to Skarp's Southern California offices to see the technology firsthand. What he finds is that the laser does technically interact with individual hairs. a faint zapping effect on very thin individual hairs. But it requires multiple passes. It works inconsistently. The video he publishes carries the title "The Laser Razor Actually Works, but Not Very Well." That title tells the whole story in one sentence. I want you to think about that title for a second. Not very well. And this is the product they promised to ship to 20,000 people in 5 months. But Skarp does not stop. Within 8 hours of the Kickstarter suspension, they relaunch on Indiegogo, a platform with far more permissive rules that does not require a working prototype. Well, in less than half a day, the new campaign pulls in over $120,000. The final Indiegogo total reaches roughly $500,000 from 2,887 backers. This time, Indiegogo uses flexible funding. Skarp keeps every dollar regardless of whether any product ever ships. So for the first time in this entire story, real money actually changes hands. And then the years start passing. March 2016 comes and goes with no razors shipped. End of 2016 arrives and Skarp had promised a prototype run of 5,000 units. Nothing ships. 2017 brings sparse updates. 2018 brings more silence. In June 2016, the founder of UK shaving brand King of Shaves joined Skarp as an advisor and publicly says the engineering work is largely done. Subsequent years prove otherwise. 2019 brings an update where Skarp quietly admits the technology still has not worked in any practical application. I want you to sit with that for a moment. 4 years after the campaign launched, no product, no refunds, nothing but shifting timelines and vague statements. 2021 brings a new target ship date. Still nothing delivered. Then in March 2022, Skarp posts its first official update in nearly 2 years. The statement says, the year will be spent looking for new ways to actually make the thing work, because nothing they have tried so far has worked in practice. That is a company telling its backers in the most careful language possible that nothing ever worked. You can feel the weight of that when you read the comment from an Indiegogo backer who simply wrote, "I will be dead" by then in response to the 2021 ship date. And as of 2026, no commercially viable Skarp laser razor has ever been shipped to a single backer. Not one unit. The website is still up. The Indiegogo page is still archived online. Former backers are still leaving comments. And the roughly $500,000 pledged by over 2,700 backers is simply gone. Morgan Gustavsson did have genuine research history in light-based hair removal going back decades. His early work was referenced in academic literature. The idea that all hair shares a common receptor that light can target is scientifically grounded. The core concept was never pure fiction. But taking a handmade glass fiber that shatters on contact with skin and turning it into a safe, mass-produced consumer product that ships to 20,000 people within 6 months on a crowdfunding budget was never remotely possible. Skarp raised over $4 million on Kickstarter and roughly $500,000 on Indiegogo. The Kickstarter backers got their pledges back. The Indiegogo backers did not. Now the story does not end with a shipped product. It does not end with a refund. It does not end with a real explanation. It ends with a Reddit thread calling the whole thing a sham. It ends with a 2022 statement that quietly admits total failure after 7 years of promises. It ends with silence. So what do you think about the Skarp laser razor? Was it a genuine attempt that just fell apart, or was it never real to begin with? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to see more videos like this, make sure you subscribe to the channel.